All right, I'm going to interview my son Jim. All right, Jim.
I'm gonna still eat.
He's eating hot wings though, so
Yeah.
you can't stop that. All right, so you said you're not a stats person.
Well, I corrected myself. I said I'm not a statistician.
What are you?
A data scientist.
He's a data scientist. What does a data scientist do?
Study. Well. Works with data, studies the science of data.
Oh yeah, your thing was before
Just
Give me an example. Like, what's the
So
difference
it's dealing
between
with-
you and a computer?
a computer.
Because don't we use computers a lot for that whole data stuff and sorting and doing predictions of how things are going to go? How do you fit in all this?
Well,
Oh really?
so a data scientist would
They're wide, but
work
they're
on
not,
how
like,
to make the
dilated like
computer
they were.
be able to
Stewards are
understand
dilated.
data.
Yeah, it's just
So you're doing the software on the computer, writing programs?
Yeah, you can. It doesn't have to be software
guys are used to
necessarily,
being
but you
dilated.
usually are writing code to process data. So data science is it's everything to do with how to use data.
Not necessarily with emotion.
So you have
I don't look at myself when
data could be a lot of different things because you can have an image file, or you could have words. So you can have like measurements, like numbers and things, but you can also have audio or video or whatever it is. All of that is technically data. So any form of data, information or whatever, and so it's really dealing with how to process it and how to make use of it. So you have like I don't know. So I'm like an amateur data scientist basically, but you have a whole range of things that you can be good at working with. So usually we did smaller data sets. So I understand like you can use statistics to be able to make sense out of a little bit of data and understand how much you can say based on just a little bit of information, the smaller sample that you have. Once you start to get a lot of data, then you don't have to talk as much about statistically what's significant or whatever, because you have so much of it. It's more like, or depending on the representation of your sample, because you can, if you only surveyed like say Floridians, then obviously you only have data on Floridians. But if you have essentially a census on everyone in a particular city, then you don't really need to do any statistics because you already know this is the information we collected on these people. So then it's just trying to understand what the data you have means.
Okay.
But all of that is data science, whether it's like statistics or working with databases or machine learning. That's all of that is part of it.
Okay, well that was a good rundown on it.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool because your Aunt Annie, she got this pegged while you were a little kid
Oh.
that you should get into data sciences.
Well, didn't I kind of do it because of her though?
Oh, maybe
a little
so.
bit,
Maybe she
because-
had a lot of influence on you.
Well, so because she mentioned that she said that I should be an actuary.
That's
And-
it. Yes, an actuary.
And that's, I assume, because Connor was for a while, right? And so she knew about that. And she thought that I have the right personality to be an actuary, or something like that. So it was because of her that I even knew about actuaries, and so I looked into that. And again, it was because of her son Connor. I talked to him because he was the second person I interviewed to try to learn more about it. And he was, at the time I interviewed him, he was a data scientist, and he still is, as far as I know.
Isn't he a meteorologist?
I know he was. Last I knew, he was. So he doesn't work at Domino Lab anymore, so I don't know what he's doing now. But he was. He was working on tools that or actually he was like the sort of like a customer service representative for a data science company that creates tools for people to analyze data.
Cool.
So he was helping them to like use the tools and maybe helping sell it at the time, but I don't know what he does now. But he is a data scientist.
Yeah.
He didn't enjoy being an actuary as much.
You don't have to rush.
But he encouraged me actually to major in data science, so I guess it's mostly him that I looked into it more and realized I was interested in it. And when I went to BYU Idaho, when I actually went to apply, they had just created the data science program, so I entered it
Oh, that's
in
cool.
the same semester that they started the program.
Yeah.
So I've actually gotten to see the program evolve and grow, because when I first entered, it was like, of all the freshmen, I think there was one other person, or maybe two other people who were also like entering as data science majors, and then there were some others that also had changed their major because now it existed.
Yeah. Makes sense.
But yeah, so I got to watch the Data Science Society there kind of develop, and now that I've graduated, they now have, in the fall semester, they finally have a big data class for like working with Spark and all that other stuff, which that I'm just having to learn on my own, because working at INL I have a little, I keep avoiding letting the data actually be big data. So I mean, I guess in my experience, it's like, so there's a few different definitions of what makes something big data, but
Okay, well, wait a minute. This is a
Yeah, I
7-minute
know. I'm going off
recording
of-
now.
oh, okay.
So
I'm going off on a tangent with this, now, so yeah, we don't.
that's kind of normal, though,
Okay.
because every subject is kind of got aspects and angles to try to describe.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna end this
Okay.
and put it on Facebook.
Okay.
And I'll share it with Grandma. I'll put it on YouTube for her. So do you want to say anything to your grandma? Grandma Thomas?
Oh, Thomas.
Yes.
Well, hi. Love you. Yeah, I'm still learning a lot of stuff. There's so much more stuff to learn.
That's good though, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay.